Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. This week we're going to do a review of 28 Years Later. In this video we're going to do a plot in 60 seconds. We're going to do a deeper discussion about the plot and the believability. We're going to talk about underdeveloped themes in the movie. We're going to talk about the characters and performances, the tone and the horror, and then we're going to end with our ratings. And spoilers, I'm going to be pretty critical because I wasn't really too impressed.
Me neither.
So we're going to do a plot in 60.
Me neither.
So we're
Neither.
So we're going to do a plot in So
Neither.
So we're going to do a plot in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Do you remember how we decided to go?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always win. I'll make it clear.
Oh, okay,
Ready. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ah!
I won! I won! It's the end of days!
How did you manage that?
Loser!
I turned off my brain.
I turned on my brain. This is the problem.
Ah.
I was thinking, I was like, you did paper, so you're going to do scissors next because I did paper, and then I was
I
going to do
didn't.
rock. Yeah.
So Ireland.
Yeah. Am I going first? Cool.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay, it's 23 years later, 28 years later. 28 years later from the zombie rage sort of fucking yoke starting. We're in an island off the edge of Scotland, I assume. Everyone seems to have a Scottish accent. Maybe they don't have a Scottish accent. I probably made that up. And there's some of a community after starting back up, and they're off the island, and we kind of slowly learn that they're living there as like that for the last couple of years. They have different things that they'll learn and how they get their lives together and stuff. Very simple. And then Aaron Taylor comes to brings his son onto the main island, and they kind of see what's afoot there and brings him back, and then the child decides to rob him and see for himself what the main island is going through. This shit.
It's 5 seconds. You don't think I can edit it. You could just do the plot switching the car.
Yeah.
Man, the blue van tries to down.
Yeah. So how does it go?
Okay, so as Aaron pointed out, it's 28 years after the zombie apocalypse started. We talked about the time when it actually started, and don't really need to know that. Aaron Johnson, he's taking his son to the mainland for a commune off to the northeast.
Salons and eggs,
small island,
please.
and they have to go to the mainland to scavenge for provisions. It's Aaron Johnson's son's first day out, even though he's 2 years younger than he usually would be to do this journey. Also, his mother is very sick, and his father lets slips that there's a doctor on the mainland, so he takes it upon himself to take his mother to the doctor to see if she can be cured.
Very good. 5 seconds there.
I think he is.
Yours is way better.
Yeah.
I gave nothing away.
Well, we also did we say that like there's zombies running around and.
I think that's kind of yeah. I think you kind of assumed that. So that was good. Yours was the best one there.
Well, we'll let the people
think
in the audience decide.
Yeah, I think the buzz of winning the rock paper scissors also spurs you on though when you're doing it. You know, that sort of way. Like I find. I think talking about this film though, this is probably going to be the first video where we're a bit more negative than usual.
Yeah.
But I think because we usually try to be quite positive.
And as well because the first film was so good, and it built that world so well, and it's a zombie apocalypse, but I felt it was really believable,
Yes.
and that's how it would happen. Or
Yes.
like you have to put aside, you have to believe there's going to be a zombie apocalypse. Or
Yeah.
this rage virus that
Which
can break out.
That was good. I like that sort of theory. Thing as well.
Yeah, but it's like once you come to terms with that, I still felt everything else that happened within it was believable,
Yes.
and how things played out.
And I also think, what you call it, the marketing team, whoever put the trailer together, fantastic work.
Yeah.
Like, got me, like, that's been playing for months. Every time we went to the cinema it was on, it was literally like, this is going to be fucking class.
But did you know that Books,
Yeah.
that was only added in for the trailer, and then they saw the trailer because you know they handed over to someone to edit the trailer, and they were so impressed with it that then they included it into the movie before it finally got finished. But yeah, like you said, the trailer was immense, and like yeah, it just built up so much hype.
Yeah.
And see, I don't like it. I don't. Once there's a movie I know I'm going to see, I try not to watch
Spoilers, etc.
or anything else about it, or
Yeah.
because I remember I watched Suicide Squad, and so many videos where they were breaking down the trailers and they were going, look, this means this and this means this, and it felt like they focused so much on putting all these Easter eggs in the movie for Suicide Squad. They didn't make a good movie.
It's so bad.
Yeah, but there was so much level of detail.
Yeah.
I've been like, oh, this is a reference to this character.
Yeah.
Just Easter eggs littered throughout it. So since then, I've tried to steer away. Like I didn't for Sinners, and like I said, I knew I was gonna watch this, and it's Danny Boyle as well.
Yeah.
And I love his movies. Yeah, most of So yeah, no one's going to see it, and you want it because then I do kind of project what I want it to be, or I kind of.
So how does 6 go?
Okay, so as Erin pointed out, it's 20. Interpret it my way, or and then if it just gives them more room to fall short.
Yeah.
That being said,
Yeah.
I felt in the plot
Mhm.
there was too many conveniences.
Yeah.
Too many convenient moments, like when they get stranded on the mainland, and you know they stay in that house.
Yeah.
That night the house collapses.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, it makes so much noise that we're going to have to make a run for it, and
Yeah.
you can only cross the bridge at low tide.
Yeah.
It was just perfectly timed that they could cross that bridge. It was just up to their shins to get through the water.
Yeah, but they did wait.
Did they?
Yeah, remember that's what they were waiting in the house for.
But the house collapsed, and then they made breakfast.
Oh yeah, that happened at the moment that the
Yeah.
house collapsed, that the tide was perfect. Yeah.
And then they get chased by the Alpha. And the very last moment, they intercept the Alpha. It was too Hollywood. Like,
Yes.
like I said, the first one it was.
Kill off his. Can I say? Can I? Spoilers. Like kill off the father.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because then that would have made the rest of it make sense.
Yeah.
Do you know? Had he watched his father die at the hands of an alpha,
Yeah. Give
then
him
you would have been like,
purpose.
give him something, purpose. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lack of purpose.
I felt, like I said, you have to put on pause that it's a zombie movie. Accept that straight out again.
Yeah.
But then there's still like real world elements. Unbelievable moments when they were surviving. In the garage, remember when there was the gas? There's still like real world elements. Unbelievable moments when they were surviving. In the surviving. In the elements. In the garage, remember when there was the gas leak?
Yes. Yeah, that shouldn't have. There was a big explosion,
No,
the gas leak
but
and a big
before
explosion.
that, they didn't get poisoned by the gas,
Yes.
and they were running around for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Then it blows up, and
No burns.
completely fine.
Yeah.
But because they're on the ground.
Yeah, I feel like you'd go on fire.
Yeah, or you'd be messed up in some capacity.
Yeah.
But they were completely unscathed.
Yeah.
But the 5 or 6 zombies died.
Yeah.
Unrealistic feats by the characters. It's the kids' first day. on the island to be a scavenger and a hunter, and his father just wants him to get a kill count up.
Yes, so he can get prepared.
They get chased. It wouldn't hit a barn door with an Uzi.
Yeah.
Arrows flying everywhere.
Yeah.
A
And he
day,
panics as well, also.
a day later, he's ultimate warrior.
I don't know, he's meant to be 12 in it.
Yeah.
Like, one day, yeah, isn't going to harden you.
No way. But to the point where you can take down a horde of zombies.
Now, I wonder, as well, is it his anger at his father that's spurring all this on?
What?
I know, but
I still don't think you'd become like a survival expert. You're gonna turn
No.
into Bear Grylls. The character development is how it was unrealistic, or the feats that the characters were able to achieve. That being the main character being.
one day, yeah, isn't going to harden you.
No way. But to the point where you can take down a horde of zombies.
Now, I wonder, is it his anger at his father that's spurring all this on? I know, but
You're gonna become a survival expert. You're gonna
No.
turn into Bear Grylls. The character development is how it was unrealistic, or the feats that the characters were able to achieve. That being the main character being the 12-year-old child, and then the mother, well, because she delusional, or the main character being the 12-year-old child, and then zombies, and then the or the zombie, and then the mother, when because she delusional or in a fevered state, but then she was able to survive on the mainland when there's zombies everywhere.
and like introduction of characters, and then kind of drop off. But then like that, as you say, certain things happening, and then characters either killed off or like different parts not developed enough.
Yeah.
So say like at the beginning, it opens to a boy in a house with all these kids, and they're all murdered basically by the zombies except for him, and he runs off and finds his father, who's a vicar. The vicar seems a bit mad, but he was a prominent like a prominent thing in the film, in the trailer. Remember the vicar, and he was like, "My children!"
Yeah.
He was like a big part of the trailer,
Yeah.
and I was like, okay, now that was done like straight away. So he was,
Yeah.
and then that kid, at the beginning, I kind of obviously didn't, but like that child was introduced at the beginning,
And
and then it goes to Aaron Taylor Johnson, so you assume that's him.
but that's why I said that to you in the cinema.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's gonna be Aaron Taylor Johnson 28 years later
Yeah.
when he's grown up.
Yeah, and then it wasn't. Now people probably copied the name. I don't know if the name was said at the beginning. It was. Remember, he had the little cross or the little
Yeah.
thing. So if you had a copy, I don't think it's the same name.
Possibly not.
But then you might have changed
Yeah.
your name over the years, whatever. So then that's fine. And then, so you've got Aaron Taylor Johnson, and then you have the child. And then like you've the side character of like the old man that's looking after the mother. The son's not there.
Yeah.
Now, this is going to be a trilogy. So I don't know whether...
It's not big yet.
Yeah.
You have to hear from trilogy.
Yeah.
I'll make a good movie.
And like that, Jodie Comer sends the first half of the fucking film in the bed. And then you said, goes to the mainland, and it's fine.
Is that just like that?
Yeah.
Sure, heading is actually.
Yeah.
That's what I
And then there's a big development of the father character, and what's going on with his life. And obviously when he's gone through, and he's really hardened, then you don't know why he's hardened, but you assume that maybe the character at the beginning is the reason why he's hardened.
Yeah.
And you're like, where's his kind of background thing?
But like you said as well, Aaron Taylor Johnson is front and centre. He's the main character until halfway through the movie, and then they just sideline him.
Yeah.
And then it's Jodie Comer that takes the limelight. Well,
Yeah.
I think the young child was, but she's the other adult
Yeah.
in it.
I think they should have killed off Taylor Johnson's character.
Yeah, something.
But then I suppose that links back
Or kill
later
a
on.
kid, or
yeah, I suppose it links back at the end because Aaron Taylor Johnson's still in the commune, probably wondering
Yeah.
what's, you know what I mean. So there is that kind of link back to the commune. Whereas if the father is dead and the child goes out, people were kind of like, well, once you're out there, you're out there. You're on your own. You get lost out there.
Another thing I found unbelievable was the emotional consistency. So the boy loves his mother, even though his mother is very sick and very confused. Will risk everything. So she needs a doctor. There's no doctor on the island. Finds out that there's a doctor who's gone rogue way back when he was a GP. So the father says that that's his campfire off in the distance. So then they go back to the island and he makes it his mission to take the mother to the doctor.
The mother's in the bed for days, confused.
Yeah.
She goes on the mainland. She doesn't have one episode.
Very.
She's coherent.
Very minor.
She's coherent basically the whole time.
And she's like, I just need an aspirin.
I just need to chill for a minute, lays it down.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, so then Ray finds he's gone rogue, but they've managed to track him down with just sort of like, we're gonna head
Towards the fire.
Yeah, northwesterly direction.
Yeah.
It has to be him. So then he's actually pretty well known.
Sound out.
Yeah, he's a lot more sane than they thought. They
Most
thought
people.
he was like a cult leader type person. I think kind of like in Apocalypse Now, Colonel Kurtz. I think that's what they were. That's what I thought he was going to be like.
I also thought that maybe he was going to be like the preacher at the beginning of the film. That he was going to be like,
this is our Lord, this is our final
this
judgment.
is the final judgment, you know,
Yeah.
getting rid of all the riffraff.
Yeah. Cleansing the earth.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but that's obviously not what it was.
But yeah, his whole thing is
Memento Mori.
Memento Mori. Sterilizes or he cleanses. Well, how would you describe what he does? Just the process.
He takes the flesh off the bodies.
Yeah, but he then cooks it.
He heats it so it comes off easy. So like, you know, like you cook a chicken that falls off the bone.
Oh, is that it?
That's what it is. So this flesh falls off the bone, and then you just rinse it in water so it comes off.
Yeah. So he
Like a chicken wing, a chicken thigh. He barbecues them.
But he does it for the infected and the non-infected, just the dead. He says.
Does he?
Yeah, that's
Okay, I thought it was just not people.
no, because that's it.
Oh, but that.
yeah, his whole thing is
hardened, but then you don't know why he's hardened, but you assume that maybe
but yeah, his whole thing is
memento mori.
memento mori. Sterilizes or he cleanses. Well, how would you describe what he does? Just the process.
He takes the flesh off the bodies.
Yeah, but he then cooks it.
He heats it so it comes off easily. So like, you know, like you cook a chicken and it falls off the bone.
Oh, is that it?
That's what it is. So this flesh falls off the bone, and then you just rinse it in water so it comes off.
Yeah. So he
Like a chicken wing, a chicken thigh. He barbecues them.
but he does it for the infected and the non-infected, just the dead. He says.
Does he?
Yeah, that's
Okay, I thought it was just not people.
no, because that's what he says. We're all the same, and everyone should be remembered. And he makes these massive skull monuments to remember everyone.
Yeah, very bone church in Prague vibes. Oh, it's a church made out of human bones.
Oh, okay.
Class. Yeah, very that vibe. So it's a thing that's been done before.
Okay. Yeah. But then he does, like he says himself, a rudimentary examination, and he deduces
Of the child's mother.
of Jodie Comer. He deduces that she has cancer and it's spread, and pretty much in the world that they live in now, there's nothing that they can do, and it's just gonna get worse and worse. And like he says in it, he said there's different types of death. There's good deaths and there's bad deaths. So this is what, 24 hours? No, 48 hours, because that's the night over. And then he's like, right, in me oven you go.
Yeah!
And the boy is like, he gets sedated, but he cooks up Jodie Comer, comes back with the skull.
I'm assuming he kills her first.
Yeah, I think he injects her with something, I don't think he cooks her alive. And then gives the boy the skull, and he's like, find a nice place for her. So he climbs to the top of the skull mountain and puts her head on top. He's like, that's a beautiful selection. But just that he was willing to sacrifice everything to find a cure. And like, doctors aren't great. I'd probably get a second opinion.
In that day and age. But then also as well, so
In
also
this day and age.
also spoilers, the boy was so upset because Aaron Taylor Johnson's character was cheating on his mum while she in the bed, getting all blah, blah, blah. And then like, oh, she's dead now. Not a tear shed. Not one tear shed.
Yeah, I don't think so. It just seemed like a real emotional inconsistency.
Lack of emotion.
But just that the kid wouldn't rebel and be like, no, there has to be an answer out there.
Yeah, or like,
well, I'll take her to a hospital, or
like, I'm not going to look at you, doctor, because
you killed my mother.
you killed my mother and you convinced her to kill herself, basically. Just very inconsistent. Very inconsistent. Very strange.
Underdeveloped themes. I heard Mark Commode.
Very strange.
top man a job in Port Research Attribute. Underdeveloped themes. I heard Mark Commode the film reviewer.
It's a very unfortunate name.
Commode.
Commode is the shit.
I think it's Kermode.
Oh.
Cool unto the Port Arlington.
I mean, just they've completely just cool. And he just talks shit.
It's that chair that you sit in and poop in.
Yeah, no connection. I hope he watches. He said it's a movie that has a lot of ideas and isn't afraid to tell you that it has a lot of ideas.
It's gonna be 3 films. Put it into another one.
But I mean, I felt there was just so many themes, or there were a lot of things that just weren't developed. And like you said,
Yeah.
if you're gonna make a trilogy, develop it, and you could have made it so much better. Like there was, religion was completely front and center.
It started the film.
There's no relevance to it. It was just there.
Is it just that you would, because of obviously what's going on, you would look to religion?
Yeah, but I mean, the alpha was called Samson, and then when they returned from the first day, they played Delilah. So that's very intentional, Samson and Delilah.
Maybe
From
tell
the Bible.
people. Maybe tell people. I wouldn't have a clue about that now.
Yeah, I thought that would be in the lexicon, Samson and Delilah.
No,
No?
I have no idea.
He was just a really big, strong man, and then but all his strength was connected to his hair, so his wife cut off his hair in his sleep, and then he became weak, and then I can't remember why he was captured, but he was captured. But then in the time he spent in prison, his hair grew back and he was strong again to break free.
Okay. So in the film, the alpha zombie, there's alpha zombies in this film. So they've mutated, I suppose, or just become stronger. So they're kind of working.
They said that the virus as like a steroid
Developed.
for certain people.
Yeah. Same as like COVID is worse for people, or
Yeah.
some people can fight against it and be stronger than it, I suppose. Like that's why you look. Or some people are, what's the word?
Yeah, literally this on steroids because like the alphas were like 8 feet tall.
Yeah. And they watch and they think and they're able to like
They command.
lead,
Yeah,
command.
exactly.
Yeah. So the alpha, big alpha, is called Samson.
But yeah, that's just from the doctors.
Yeah.
And also the bone temple, place of
Yeah.
worship.
And you said the song's Delilah in the background, or they're singing the song Delilah in
When they come back.
when they come back, and Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, who's the father, kind of, what's the word people do when you tell a story, but kind of
Embellishing.
embellish the story, because they were running from an alpha, and then the guards ended up killing the alpha because they're
Yeah.
harder to kill as well. So he was talking about how the young lad was brilliant and he wasn't.
Billy Big
And he
Bollocks
was-
here,
yeah,
says we'll
basically
fight
doing
them.
everything. And then they're singing the song Delilah in between this cutting of him telling the story. So I wouldn't have known that was a religious thing.
Samson.
Possibly
You
at
never
all.
heard
No.
Samson?
No.
Okay.
I'm not a big Jesus freak.
Yeah. Big Jesus
I'm a
head.
big Jesus.
Big Jesus head in you.
Okay, so you thought that it was, but then I wonder, did they not go on with that because some people wouldn't know that, or is it just that it was lazy?
But just mean it.
Why
don't-
introduce it?
I don't know why there was so much religion in it, but
Mm.
it was front and center, but it wasn't a theme or
Yes.
part of plot. It just didn't seem relevant
Yeah.
or necessary.
Yeah.
It was just there.
Yeah.
Shoved in your face.
Yeah. but then not developed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
And then you pointed out when the zombie gives birth.
Piss me right off. Let me get into this now. Okay. But then even to backtrack, I don't know if we should give out about your one like coming to in the middle of the night and like that. Isla, is it Isla?
Yeah.
Her character, it could have extended itself for ages and could have worked across the trilogies, but then I don't know what their end goal is with the
But
films.
you know that. Sorry, it's not a trilogy. They have to see how well the next one does.
Oh well, they've already released spoilers.
Welcome back to the channel. This week we're gonna do a review of 28 years later. In this video we're gonna do plot in 60 seconds. We're going to do a deeper discussion about the plot and the believability.